Good evening. I am calling to order this Pacific Grove Unified School District Board of Education special meeting. It is Monday, June 29th, 2026. As we begin this meeting, it is important to pay respect to and acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the Ohlone, Costanoan, and Esalen people, and additionally pay respect to elders, excuse me, both past and present. The next item on our agenda is our roll call. Dr. Adamson, please.
President McNeary.
Here.
Clerk Shamas.
Here.
Dr. Hazen.
Here.
Trustee Otmar.
Here.
And Trustee Wax is absent.
Okay, thank you. With board trustees present, we have a quorum and can move forward with our business. Thank you, everybody, for being here yet again for another meeting together in July or June. Oops, see, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Item D, I'll just follow the agenda, is the adoption of the agenda. Before we go out to public comment, Dr. Adamson, are there any revisions or changes?
No revisions.
Okay, thank you. Are there any members of the public who wish to make a comment on the adoption of the agenda, either in person or online? You can raise your digital hand. Okay, seeing none, thank you, Director Binder. I'll bring it back to the board for any discussion, and if not, I'll look for a motion to adopt the agenda.
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Thank you. I'll second. Okay, motion made by Trustee Hazen and second from Trustee Otmar. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Okay, motion carries 4-0. Thank you, everyone. Item 2 is our closed session agenda, and I will now identify those topics. Item A is negotiations, collective bargaining session, planning and preparation with the CSEA for 2025 and 26. Item B is public employee discipline, dismissal, release, leave complaint under Government Code Section 54957, Subdivision B. And those are two closed session items this evening. Are there any public comments on the closed session topics I've identified? Okay. Seeing none, we will now adjourn to closed session, and we anticipate reconvening around 5:50. Okay, thank you, everyone. Hey, good evening and welcome back for those of you joining us. We are now reconvening in open session, and I will now read out the report of action taken in closed session with regard to item A, negotiations, collective bargaining session, planning and preparation with the CSEA for 2025, 2026. Information was received. For item B, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, leave complaint under Government Code Section 54957, Subdivision B, information was received. And that is all. Next on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and Clerk Shamas, will you lead us this evening? Thank you. Okay, we've got a short consent agenda this evening. Items A, B, and C, all in the packet. So I will first go out to public comment on the consent agenda. Is there anyone in the room or online who wishes to make a comment on the items on consent? Okay, thank you, Director Binder. Is there any discussion from members of the board on the consent agenda? Okay.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve consent as presented.
Okay, thank you. Motion made from trustee Hazen. I'll go ahead and second the motion to approve consent as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is a public hearing. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 5:56 for item A, the tentative agreement with CSEA, California School Employees Association, Pacific Grove Chapter for 2025 and 2026. And I will turn it over to you, Chief Human Resources Officer Rogoman.
Thank you very much, President McNary. Every year when we do our negotiations and reach a tentative agreement, those agreements are always brought forward to the board and to the public first for a public hearing, and then later on as an action item. This is one of the steps that's required by law. Whenever we're doing a collective bargaining agreement with one of our two bargaining associations, we feel like we made some excellent progress with CSEA this year. And I think that progress is noted in the attached tentative agreement where each article is listed that we covered in those negotiations, and you can kind of see the red lined changes that we've made. We are proud of the work and the relationship that we have with CSEA, and we look forward to another successful year of negotiations, but we'll talk about that a little later in the agenda. So if there are any questions in the public hearing, we do have a couple of members of CSEA here to help us address those should we have that need, or I should be able to speak to any of the questions that either the board or the public might have during this public hearing.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanation of the process as well. First, we will go out to public comment as part of our public hearing. Is there anyone in the room or online who would like to make a public comment on the tentative agreement, which begins at page 19 in our packet? Okay. I'll bring it back to the board for any discussion, and just as a reminder, this will be an item on our action discussion agenda a bit later. Okay. Seeing none for now, I will close the public hearing at 5:58 on this item. Okay. Moving on to item B, which is also a public hearing. So we will open it at 5:58. This is the California School Employees Association, Chapter 229, initial proposals for negotiations 2026 through 2029. And Chief Rogoman.
Thank you very much. I think that one of the things that this speaks to is kind of the ongoing nature of negotiations with our colleagues at CSEA. This is going to open up the negotiations not only for 2026 through 2029, but specifically for 26-27. So that list of items that they have, some of those might be covered in this year's negotiations. Some of those might be covered a little bit further down the line, but these are all open for the next three years. The process for the board is really going to be an acknowledgement that the negotiations are open. But right now it's a public hearing just to hold a forum about the topics that have been brought forward by CSEA.
Thank you. We will go out to public comment as part of our public hearing to see if anyone in the room or online would like to make a comment on this agenda item. Okay. Any board discussion at this time? We will see this one again a bit later. Clerk Shamas.
I'm feeling that it would be good if the district and CSEA and PGTA had some training for the next rounds of negotiations. I feel that it's been a long time since the two sides have had maybe some trainings. And I just think that it's always a good thing to, even if you feel like everything's going along all right. I think it's a good idea to bring in some kind of training to just to have everybody agree to this is how we're going to negotiate. So I'm gonna just throw that out there and I'll bring it up again, but that's my thought.
Thank you. I'm open to that idea as well. Because we are doing the public hearing right now, if there is no further discussion from the board, I will close it out at 6:01. And that concludes our public hearing portion of this evening. On to action discussion. Item A under action is the tentative agreement with CSEA, the California School Employees Association, Chapter 229 for 2025 and 2026. Chief Rogoman.
This is the action item that the board has the ability to approve that tentative agreement that we just held the public hearing on. This, once again, is for the contract language from 25-20-26, as well as the second year of the 2-year deal that was negotiated in terms of wages and health and welfare. This salary schedule was already implemented in 25-26 because once again, it was a two-year deal. The contract language, however, will be new going forward into 26-27 for the changes that we've made.
Okay, thank you. And this item does begin at page 51 in our packet. I will first go out to public comment. Would anybody in the room or online like to make a comment on the tentative agreement with CSEA? Thank you, Director Binder. I'll bring it back to the board for discussion on this item. Trustee Hazen.
Just another thank you. I know there's always work to be done, but it's really appreciated that there is such a good relationship with CSEA and our negotiating team. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Agreed. And I know a lot of hard work on both sides went in to get to where we are, and the work continues. So I appreciate where we're at, and I'm glad we're doing a lot of work to overhaul our contracts and make sure all of our employees are being treated at best standards. Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the tentative agreement between PGUSD and the California School Employees Association for 2025 and 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Clerk Shamas with the second. Double second. So motion made by myself and second from Clerk Shamas, close third by Trustee Otmar. All those in favor of approving the agreement, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you to both teams. Motion carries. Okay. And now on to forward looking. Okay. The CSEA Chapter 229 initial proposals for negotiations for 2026 through 2029. And again, Chief Rogoman.
I think that one of the things that really kind of stands out over the past few years is just the emphasis that the district has put in working with CSEA to resolve a myriad of issues. You will see those come up on the consent agenda. I think there was about 17 different memoranda of understandings as well as side letter agreements that came forward to the board this year. While some might see that as being indicative of conflict with the group, really what it is, it's a great sign that the employee-employer relationship committee meetings are going well, right? That we're resolving issues and we're coming to agreements. The initial proposal that CSEA has put forward for 26-29 really represents their willingness to engage with, negotiate with the district, and to continue to work through any kind of disagreements that we may have, and to reach resolution on these problems that come forward. And speaking on behalf of the district and the Human Resources Department, we also are looking forward to year after year of continuing working kind of side by side with CSEA to ensure that this district continues to be a wonderful place for our classified employees to work.
Thank you, Chief Rogoman. We will first go out to the public for any comment on this agenda item. Would anyone in the room or anyone online like to make a public comment? Okay, thank you, Director Binder. Would anyone from the board like to discuss this item? I see Trustee Hazen. Go for it.
Yeah, just quickly on that, I was encouraged to see the technology component of something that wanted to be discussed, because I think that really ties in well to our tech plan. I just want to encourage CSEA to, think of ways to, or continue to engage, I should say, on our tech plan to make sure it meets their needs as well as the rest of the district. So glad to see that in there.
Any other board members? Clerk Schmoss?
Just that, so we will put out ours as well, but that will be later.
It is likely to come forward to, I believe it's the August 3rd training that you're going to have, that we also might be putting an initial proposal forward. And the reason why we have an interest in starting so early has to do with the compensation portion of the 26-27 year, that we think that, there is a resolution that we're going to be able to bring forward to the board shortly thereafter. And so we would like to get that resolved so that the CSEA employees all realize the same compensation adjustment that all the other groups have. So that's the reason why ours is going to be coming forward earlier too, so that at the first regular board meeting in August, we have the ability to approve that.
Okay.
I had the same question. Thank you for asking, because I was curious as well. We typically see them both in the same meeting. Okay, that's good to know. We can look forward to it. Any other discussion from the board? If not, I will look to anyone who would like to make a motion to, or is there further discussion? Or you want to make a motion?
Yep, I'm happy to make a motion to approve the tentative agreement.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, I'm
Trustee
quick on the draw.
No, you are. I appreciate it. Okay, motion made by Trustee Hazen. I can't talk as fast.
I will second.
Thank you. On balance, second from Trustee Otmar. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any noes? Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Chief Rogoman. Thank you to CSEA. Motion carries. Item C on our action agenda is a memorandum of understanding with CSEA Chapter 229 regarding a new classification for lead custodian. I'll turn it over to you, Chief Rogoman.
Thank you very much. One of the things that has become evident throughout the years is that there is a need for some leadership among our custodians, especially those that are working the night shift. And so what this was a result of, the position that you see before you, is another collaborative effort between CSEA and the district to kind of help resolve the need that we have among our night custodians. A lead night custodian is going to be present and have the ability to do any supplemental training that might be needed. Also is going to be able to go from site to site and kind of have those personal interactions with the night custodians to give them guidance, and then also provide any kind of support that they may need. So as they express their needs for what they have to have in order to do their job better, we will have a lead custodian whose primary role is going to be the support of the custodians that we have at nighttime. That lead role is reflected in a range increase above our custodian 3. Our custodian 3 makes a range of 38, whereas our lead night custodian is going to make a range of 41 before the night differential pay. So this is really coming forward to the board as a interest of both the district and CSEA. And the exciting thing about this is we think we have some internal candidates who would be excellent for the job, and we're hoping that this is going to provide an opportunity for them to advance.
Okay, thank you for the thorough presentation. Chief Rogoman, we will first go out to public comment on this item. Would anyone in the public either online or in person, like to make a comment? Thank you, Director Binder. I'll bring it back to the board for any discussion on item C regarding the new classification for a lead custodian. I had one question.
Sure.
We're kind of, as we're looking through job descriptions, we kind of compare them to other districts for equivalent.
Mhm.
Is that something we would do with regard to establishing this new position, is see what other comparable districts have so that we're kind of aligning as we're establishing new positions?
So the job description that you see is a result of that process.
Okay.
Well, once again, having the ability to work with CSEA, one of the things that's nice is it broadens the vision of the district so that we're not just relying on our own internal expertise, but we have touch points throughout the county for us to be able to draft things like these kinds of job descriptions. And so we work closely with CSEA when these job descriptions get drafted. And I think that one of the things that you'll see when we bring forward the job descriptions that are going to be a result of the classification and compensation study, they're going to be very similar in nature to the one that you have before you. And the one that you have before you, I think you'll notice, is a little more complete, a little more thorough than maybe some of the job descriptions that currently exist. So it's a little bit of a preview
Okay.
to the quality of the job descriptions that we're going to see come out of the classification study.
Thank you.
Sure.
I appreciate that. I have no further questions. Trustee Otmar.
I had a question. You mentioned that this is salary is based off of a range and then would also include a night differential. Is this lead custodian position specifically only for night custodians? There wouldn't be any other time that this person would work?
So during the school year, the person's shift is going to be at nighttime because we have that need to support our custodians who are working at night. However, during the summer and during breaks, then that person is going to be able to work during the daytime, since most of our custodians shift to daytime service during the breaks and also during the vacations that we have. So it'll be a combination of when they're working their shift, but the majority of the shift is going to be done during the school year, and so the majority is going to be done at nighttime. And the shift differential for someone who works at night is one range up. So instead of a range 41, winds up being a 42.
And that would apply only to the time that he is actually working.
I don't know that I have an accurate answer for you on that one right now. One of the things that we tried not to do is to make an employee who's earning a night differential suffer any harm when the shift goes into daytime. So I'll have to check and get back to the board on that one.
Okay. And then as far as supervision for any other custodial staff that does not work at night, how is that accomplished?
So we feel that we got lead custodians now that are working during the day shifts that kind of lead each site, and we feel like that has been effective. Where we feel like guidance and support has been absent has really been in those night roles. That's the reason why we identified this. Also, this lead night custodian is also a custodian that could help provide training and support to someone who might be working on a day shift who say, we've gotten some feedback that maybe the floors aren't being done quite up to standard. So that person can go in and then train the person to what the district standard is for cleaning a floor and be able to deploy that person that way. The other part of the job that's going to be very nice too is that when we have someone who might be absent as a night custodian, this lead night custodian is going to help to redeploy personnel in the event that maybe we don't have the substitute staffing that we'd like to have, so that we can strategically deploy the personnel that we have to cover where someone's absent. And that's going to really assist Director Anderson. So he'll have a colleague to help solve those problems with. So it's not all falling on him, as he's also trying to lead the construction projects around the district and do the many things that he's doing as well too. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like having a custodial, like 4-person, just like we do in maintenance.
Sorry, it's hard
No,
on
it's
my
fine.
phone because I don't have the paper agenda in front of me, but um as far as what staffing looks like
Mhm.
for the night custodians, then are we releasing a custodian in order for this position? Because what I don't want to do is after we've just been through a round of layoffs, create a new position and create without letting somebody else go. So I would not be on board with that. I could tell you in advance, I'm a no vote. If this is to replace a custodian that is currently working, and then in addition to that, manage the other custodial staff to make sure that they are on point, taking care of our facilities the way that they should be, that would be different.
That's an excellent question. Because of certain circumstances that occurred throughout the year, we wound up having two vacancies in the custodial staff. And so one of those vacancies we are using to create the position of the lead night custodian. So in terms of the number of staff, it remains neutral. The only increase in cost is the increase in establishing someone as a lead. And one of the things that we've done through the classification and compensation study is if an employee is going to be identified as a lead. And that's going to be part of the title, and they're going to have the responsibilities that go along with being a lead, that they will be 3 ranges above the next person in that classification.
Do you have a specific dollar amount to what that would look like as far as from?
I believe that was in the packet.
Love to
Assistant
see it,
Superintendent.
but-
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 5,537.64.
Thanks.
increase
Sorry,
to
I'm
base.
ill prepared.
It's okay. No,
That's
Scrubs.
understandable.
That's the increase to the base salary. So around $5,500 increase
Okay,
to base salary
Okay,
annually.
that's great. Thank you. I don't have any further questions. Thanks for the clarification.
you.
That helps.
Okay, thanks for the questions.
I have a question. So when we make someone in charge of other people, it's really important to me that that person gets training in how to be in charge of other people, even if they're not writing an evaluation. You're already saying that they're going to be training others, and I just want to make sure that the person who takes this position is confident and is trained in how to do that. Because I think sometimes people just think, well, he or she's experienced, they should know, and I think it's important to have something formal in ways of helping that person adapt to what we're expecting here.
Great. And because it's a new role with the district, I think it's important to note as well that this person's job as a lead isn't supervisor. That's really important. It's more to provide guidance. And yes, they might be assigning work, but they aren't going to be, they aren't there to tell on people when they aren't doing the job right. They're there to support, guide, and help. Really is kind of the main purpose of this lead night custodian. And I think that it's great advice to guide us in that direction to really make clear what the person's responsibilities are, and then get some formal training for how to do that. Yeah.
Anything else from board members? Okay, before us, we have an MOU with CSEA for the approval of establishing a new classification for lead custodian.
I'm happy to make a motion to approve the MOU.
Okay, thank you, trustee Hazen. Motion made by trustee Hazen.
I'll second.
A very quick second from clerk Shamas. There's a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any noes? Okay, motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Chief Rogoman, for all of your work on all of the items before us this evening and ongoing. That concludes our substantive agenda this evening. We will be dark during the month of July, and our next regular board meeting is currently scheduled for August 13th, 2026. And a very bittersweet farewell to trustee Dr. Hazen. If you want to tune in on Zoom from Denmark, we'll figure out the time differential. But good evening, happy summer. Thanks, everyone.